Hey guys, it's Luke Johnson from the Philosophy teaching app Noetic. Go download it for iPhone and Droid. This morning, over a cup of coffee, I consumed some more Kierkegaardian audio resources, and I wanted to let you know about them real quick. So here goes. The first came from the podcast Phiosophy Bites, and it's an episode called Clare Carlisle on Kierkegaard's Fear and Trembling. Now, those of you who've been following along to my channel know that I have promoted Clare Carlisle's work before. She did an audiobook for Audible that I can highly recommend. I'll try to include that link as well. But maybe you want to start here. Buying a book on Audible is not necessarily like an easy thing to do for everybody. I know it's not for me, so I have to sort of store up my credits and use them very sparingly. So maybe you want to further test the scholarship of Clare Carlisle. And I believe on this episode of Phiosophy Bites, it becomes really obvious that she knows her stuff, especially about fear and trembling. She definitely taught me a thing or two. And she did it in like 13 minutes. Also, look, I want to use this channel, the Noetic app, and whatever else as a way to really promote women in philosophy. And I think Claire deserves a lot of recognition. So check her out on this podcast, and I'll include it in the description below, and get her book. She's phenomenal. The other thing I wanted to tell you about was my friend Ace has started a blog called The Integrated Monastic, I believe. Yes, that is what it is called. And there are only 3 posts up right now, but it looks like it's something that he'll be sort of expanding for a while now. And he did a post yesterday entitled, Why Abraham Matters, or My Teleological Suspension of the Ethical Part 1. So I guess we know that at least another installment is coming, which I'm anxiously anticipating. The Integrated Monastic that Ace has put together, I suppose it's a philosophy blog, but it seems like it weaves a lot of his personal experience into it as well. And I think that's just as important when we start to discuss philosophical texts, that these actually have like animating life impacts. So what Ace has done in this blog post is that he has succinctly sort of described the dynamic between God and Abraham and the particular sacrifice that he has to make, how this represents how we must defy societal expectations and prioritize the relationship with God, and how this worked out in a very particular episode in his own life that required Ace, and by putting it out there on the internet, Ace had to get very vulnerable, very confessional, and should be applauded for doing that. I think it's really important to see how Kierkegaard can be a guide in our real lives. And Ace's story is a particularly effective one at demonstrating that. And it makes me want to turn inward. It makes me want to figure out if I too have experienced the Abraham, God, and Isaac dynamic in my own life. I mean, I suppose any authentically committing Christian has experienced it to some degree. I mean, or certainly is experiencing to a full degree. That's a whole other matter. But it makes me want to turn inward and think a little bit more about whether or not this motif has occurred in my own life. That's all. I don't know. That's all I have to really say about that. I got to get to work. Download the Noetic app. Check out the Integrated Monastic blog. And listen to Clare Carlisle on Phiosophy Bites. You'll find all the information below. Take care and have a wonderful day.